Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. This is the best support that you can render to our channel. Please like our videos and help us share them. Again, to all our supporters, may God bless you. Thank you very much. There is a very sad story that is circulating. And this story is about how investors are abandoning our country. And I know we've heard about the investors that come from other country and now they are fleeing. The other day you saw Madam Suluhu saying that they are getting influx of investors courtesy of our very poor policies that do not really encourage a pacifying environment for the investors to stay put. But this one is from the billionaire Ezekiel Buzeki. This is a man who has tried twice very unsuccessfully to become the governor of Western Gishu. And so many times he's been a critic of Ruto's government, and many people think that maybe he's got a personal vendetta with William Samoei Ruto. But the latest one is about our economy, and it has got nothing to do with their differences with William Samoei Ruto. Apparently, Buzeki has been the director of Buzeki Group of companies, logistic and transport companies. They are offering transport and logistic in very many companies, helping them here and there. And this company, or the group of companies, were established in 1991. So the businesses have really thrived from Moi era, then to Kibaki era for the 10 years that Kibaki was in power, then Uhuru era when Uhuru was in power for 10 years. But then when William Ruto came into power, only 15 months down the line, Ezekiel, just like many other investors, both local and foreign investors, have decided to shut down. And they are not doing this because they like it, but it is because of the high cost of production. So it is recorded that Rift Valley billionaire Buzeki shuts down company over high fuel prices. And this has got nothing to do with their differences with William Ruto, because you all understand that whenever someone establishes a business, the main goal is to make profit. And so if the profit is not coming, the only thing it is to shut down. It did start today when Parliament passed the Finance Bill 2023 that added 8% of VAT to the original 8% that was there, increasing it to 16% of value-added tax on fuel products. He went on Twitter and said that the way things were going, he was going to downsize. That was somewhere in June. So about 3 days ago, he announced that he had shut down, because this is what he said: we parked trucks from November 1st, 2023, as the increase in fuel prices rendered the business unprofitable. He added by saying that we sent 300 staff packing. We still have some employed. Things are tough, and this is the truth. So this story is very, very sad for me, because we are in a situation where the rate of unemployment is rising higher and higher. But I want you to see a video here where watching this video will make you understand just how consistent Buzeki has been complaining about the economic situation and how it would interfere with the businesses.
Kibaki ilikuwa wachache sana. Hata mimi mwenyewe wakati huo, kwa sababu ni mkale, niliambiwa tupigie Uhuru kura, na nilipigia Uhuru na Uhuru akashindwa na akaconcede defeat. Akasema nimekubali nimeshindwa, bas uongozi ikashikwa na Kibaki. Kibaki akikuja power, KCC ilikuwa imeshachukuliwa. Kibaki akaenda akalipa 540 million akachukua KCC. Sisi hatukuwa tumempigia kura, akarudisha. Kidogo hivi mahindi Kibaki akiingia in 2003, gunia moja ilikuwa shilingi 360. Within Within 2 years Kibaki alipeleka mahindi mpaka shilingi 2,500. Mbolea ilikuwa shilingi 6,000. Within 3 years of Kibaki government, Menjo, mbolea ilikuja mpaka shilingi 2,200. Na huyo ni mtu sisi hatukupigia kura, lakini tulitajirika tukiwa community ya Wakale kwa njia ile mtu hawezi kusema. When Kibaki came to power, mimi nikisimama hivi, I'm a product of Kibaki. Because when Kibaki came to power, I was a very small businessman. Nilikuwa na employ watu 100. In 10 years of Kibaki, I was employing 3,000 people. Kwa hivyo mtu atuletee sera, usituletee uoga na kutuletea ubinafsi. Ubinafsi yako utakaa naye. Kaya ole kaya. Na wakati ule mwingine mimi nataka niseme watu wa Wazingisho.
You know, Buzeki is just but one of the investors who have been affected. If you look at the picture that I'm showing you there, this was a G4S recruitment. You know, they had called for people who are qualified to get some job. You know what G4S does? Looking at the number there, and I think they wanted just 100 people or so, between, not even 100, between 10 to 20 people there. And then the number that you see there is just too big that you know what would happen. And this tells you just how disparate Kenyans are, especially youths. They turned up, turned out in large numbers. It reminds us of the day when KDF called for recruitment from NYS, those who had been qualified and those who had been contracted. So that is the situation where Kenyans find themselves in. Someone, a parent losing a job in the beginning of the year when children want to go to school. So I want you to imagine there's a parent who thought that this is the only job he was relying on, and maybe he's got a child who just did his or her class 8. And they want to go to high school, and then you lose your job when they're just about, maybe after receiving the calling letter. And Buzeki is just an epitome of many other, an example of many other investors who have closed down because the situation is unbearable. The high cost of fuel. William Ruto has been complaining that Uhuru Kenyatta and the opposition are going to court to sabotage his development agenda. Now, in this sense, now where people are closing down and shutting down their companies and employees are relieved of their duties, who is the saboteur? Who is sabotaging William Ruto's agenda of employment? William Ruto is a co-author of his own predicaments because these are bad policies. People told him there is no need of increasing fuel prices now, but because it was a fundamental dictate from the World Bank and the IMF, he had to comply. So look at where we are. I don't know whether they are still going to say that maybe Buzeki is a competitor. You cannot close down your company because of political reasons. So William Ruto has really messed up with the lives of Kenyans. Of late, he has been saying that he wants to create jobs for the hustlers. And that is why he forced down people's throats the idea of housing levy and affordable houses. So as he creates, or he purports to create jobs for the youth, the hustlers, other companies are closing down. He is robbing Tom to enrich James, because he says he's creating jobs for the youth, yet the very, very housing levy and all the taxes are making companies to close, robbing the left pocket to enrich the right pocket. Between the very temporary jobs that William Ruto claims to provide as a result of affordable housing and a company, a logistic company like the one that Buzeki was running, which one can you, if you are given, if you are weighing, which one should fall and which one should rise? You see, you better have people who are employed almost on a permanent basis in Buzeki's company than the temporary housing jobs that will end as soon as the construction has ended. And this is why I'm telling you that this is a very sad story. He has been defending this. Now look at where we are. He has always said that the economy is stable. How do we have an economy that is stable when people are being retrenched, when employers are sending people home, they are shutting down their companies? Even if you are not an economist, you would know that things are bad. If it were a global thing where, for example, companies are closing down in Kenya and they're doing the same in Uganda and TZ, we would understand. But you see, this is a situation where they are running away from our market and they are going to the neighbors. And they have made it very clear the reason why they are going away. You saw how some leaders were complaining that due to the increase in the KWS increased, our tourists are now moving to TZ because they can watch the same animals in TZ. It is not like we are indispensable. You know, we are behaving as if without us people cannot breathe. You increase taxes in Kenya for even going to view our very beautiful wild animals and scenes. Someone will go to Tanzania. So as a result of these taxes, we are losing a lot. But William Ruto says he's ready to take tough decisions. What are tough decisions for? And I really feel for people, you know, there are people who don't have any job at all. This is just 15 months after William Ruto took oath of office. So I want you to project in the next 2 to 3 years, how are things going to be? Because you cannot tell me that we give him more time expecting any changes. You know, we cannot continue doing the same thing and we expect results. When a government knows very well that youths don't have jobs, they lie in public that Google wants to absorb 1,000 youths. Yet, at the same time, Google is saying that they are relieving their employees of their duty. A government that continues on blame game and scapegoating, I mean, when will they change? A government that is full of corruption and wastage. And this is a report from independent institutions like the Controller of Budget and the Auditor General. These are not politics. This is not from opposition or Azimio. These are reports from the very people we maintain with our taxpayers' money. And you tell us that we give him time, things will change. Yes, things will change, but for the worst. I can assure you. I can assure you. Do you really understand where I'm coming from? Because Buzeki is just but one example of many who have been affected. Victims, those who have closed their shops, those who have closed their companies, those who have lost jobs. You know, the situation we are in Kenya today makes me remember the times of Corona. Because what we are facing now is something that we faced during Corona, when people were being relieved of their duties en masse. Watu walisimamishwa kazi. So today, Ruto is the new Corona that we have, the new Corona in town. And it's very tough, talking tough. And he has charged his government allies, people like, you know, Susan Kihika, Alice Wahome, Ndindi Nyoro, Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Chungwa. They are defending his idea just because they've been told wao ni shareholders na Ruto akitoka mmoja wao ataingia, the succession trap. So ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are. And this is going to be a thorn in the flesh to William Ruto in 2027. And I know his plans are very clear. Weka pesa hapa kidogo, watu walielia, increase the taxes. Ikifika 2026, punguza all the taxes, and then people and then start giving people money, because Kenyans are very forgetful, and he will thrive in the poverty-stricken situation that Kenyans are in. When someone is poor, they don't look beyond the 100 shillings that you give them. They don't look beyond the 1,000 shillings that you give them. They will not even think or remember that after voting in 2027, we will still have to come back to factory settings and start increasing the taxes for another 5 years. And of course, you know that we also vote according to our tribal and ethnic lines and our political affiliations. Ushaambiwa Raila ni mbaya. You don't even scrutinize kwani amefanya nini. The judiciary, the Supreme Court judges that gave Ruto his win, are now being hunted. It is the opposition that are coming to their defense. We really need to wake up sometimes as a nation. We really need to demand and call the government to order. Because even if you have a job and you have 10 people who are jobless who are depending on you economically, if you ask economic experts, they will tell you that you are like, it is like you are jobless. And things have just started. It is just the beginning. When you thought you've seen it all, no. Subiri kidogo. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but William Ruto will really have to work hard to convince people that we need to give him a second chance. We need to give him a second term. I know people are tired from all walks of life, from central to northeastern. They are still trying to play politics here and there, but the situation is dire. It is very bad. There is no plan at all. The plan is on theory, on paper. Implementation is impossible because William Ruto is cornered on one side by the international community, on the other side by the hustlers, and on the other side on trying to look at 2027. Campaigning for 24 hours, going to churches. After churches, he goes abroad, traveling and telling us that they have negotiated for jobs. Jobs are not there. It is time we have a national conversation as Kenyans and decide our fate once for all.